So today wound up not being the day that I was hoping it would be. I'm not even sure if this video is going to upload because the internet keeps cutting out, and I'm not sure. It may be because Mardi Gras is happening right now. I'm not sure if that puts an extra demand on the internet, which I should add, my community has Mardi Gras in October, and it is nothing like the Mardi Gras in New Orleans. It has no connections to it whatsoever. This is a big family festival that takes place in my community. And yes, I will try to do more about that. I've actually been trying to uncover why they changed it from the Pumpkin Festival to the Mardi Gras Festival. And it's pretty funny just that, yeah, it was very much a culture shock for me when I found out what Mardi Gras actually was. Anyway, the day was just very challenging. I was really struggling in a lot of respects to get things done, to get into gear. And the terrible thing is, it's not like this was an excruciating pain day or I was having a horrible episode or anything. It was just really difficult to push through. And some of the stuff was just so simple that I needed to do, and instead of going to my self-care lists and, you know, power-ups and such like that, instead I just decided, no, I'm running behind, I'm going to get the work done, and I'll take care of myself later. Now, it probably would have taken me about 45 minutes to get everything done that I needed to, and one task in particular should have taken half an hour. Instead, it took 2. So even if I had done the self-care routine, it probably would have been better. And, you know, this is one of my weaknesses that I notice about myself. I am a workhorse, as my parents refer to it. I tend to struggle with workaholic tendencies, which is great when you're building a business. But when I reach a certain point of pain and fatigue, I stop thinking smart, and I just start pushing ahead unless I actively stop myself. So I'm annoyed because I didn't do what I should have done. And, you know, it's okay, I'm going to do better. I've been trying to do better about it. I used to not have those lists, and I would just kind of zone and float around untethered, trying desperately to get things taken care of. Well, these lists are better, and they do work, but I have to use them. But it was just, I don't know, I was being incredibly stubborn about, I want to get these things done. I'm not going to stop this. But there was a really great blessing. Actually, there were several. And, you know, the day was not like, it wasn't a terrible day. It was just challenging, a little bit disappointing. And I'm frustrated with myself in that regard because that knowledge is there. I know what to do, and I didn't do it. And that was brilliant. But there was a really, really great part today that I know part of these are so that I can put down those memories, and I have them. And I have some very dear friends who I've never met in person. And one of them, she messaged me yesterday, and it was just so incredibly kind, came at the exact perfect moment. And we were able to talk a little bit, and one of the things that came out was something that just, you know, that had happened that has been, it still weighs on me. It was actually a series of events, and it's not something that I really talk about as much because I'm not sure how to talk about it, if that makes sense. And you know what? She was just there, and I was so grateful that she did reach out. And it was, to me, it was the most ironic thing because I know that she struggles with feeling like, does she give value? Is she a valuable person? And 100% she is. In fact, I'll choke up and cry if I'm not careful. I'm in a slightly emotional mood. But the incredible thing is she fights that. And it's largely because, you know, she deals with much more severe chronic illnesses than like what I'm dealing with. For her, becoming bedbound and having, you know, very, very limited spoons is unfortunately a daily reality, as is going between level 6 and 8 pain, even higher at points. But the thing is that even though it's not a traditional way that she would contribute it according to our American economy, like on the tax forms or whatever, they may not think that she is nearly as valuable as she is, but she is very kind and compassionate. She is an advocate for so many people, and she uses her time incredibly well, even as she's still learning how to take care of herself. And I was just thinking how incredibly grateful that I am for people like that, that we're all capable of reaching out and touching other people and impacting them. And it's not actually as much about volume as it is that quantity. And so, you know, if you're feeling like you can't really impact people, there are so many ways that you can do that, and and hopefully even are, you know, by reaching out and talking to the people that you love, by praying for them, by volunteering and helping them, even in small ways. Sometimes those little things just make such a difference. And even if, because sometimes online relationships get denigrated and they're scaled down, it's like they don't count. It's like they do. I can tell you, as someone who has had some incredibly dear online friends, they 100% count. So to those of you who have figured out how to make that difference online, maybe it's really small. Sometimes we're working in fields where the crops are very, very slow growing and you're not going to see that. But it is making a difference in people's lives when you're reaching out with compassion and kindness and nurturing and working to encourage and strengthen them. So that happened, and I was so grateful for that. And you know, there are a lot of good things. So even though, yes, it was not the greatest day, and I'm still aggravated with myself, and I will be continuing to be aggravated with myself for not doing some things that were incredibly simple, but the day's going to get better. James and I are going to be going to Mardi Gras for a little bit and see what's happening there, see if we can get it worked out to do some volunteering for our church booth, because we don't have a huge amount of time tonight, and we'd like to try to get to bed at a decent hour, so the casework has to get done for tomorrow, prep work for all of this, and yeah. So anyway, I hope that you had a really good day, and don't underestimate your ability to impact others. So I hope you have a really great evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.